something. Is that really me? Is that me? Jesse, is that me? Johnny, is that me? Is that me? Jay, is that me? Bob, is that me? Michael, is that me? But anyway, let me just say this here. I got a little bit of a cold, but we're going to still go. I just want to thank all these young men here who said good things about me, especially Hank Aaron. Hank has always been there, like he said about me. He's always been there for me. And I want to thank my friend John McDonough, Jay, and Jesse, and Mike North, Cub Organization, everybody who made this possible for me, and my good friend Minnie Minoso. So, thank you so much. Thank you, most of all, the Cub Organization for making this happen. This is a miracle, my friends. That's what this is. Seeing this statue makes me think of my dad, who only made it to the 3rd grade, and my mother, who only made it to the 6th grade. But they might not have been educated, but they were wise. They taught me one of the greatest lessons of my life, and that is to be satisfied. To be satisfied. And they said, with what you have in life, if you do that, you always be a happy person if you're satisfied. They suffered a lot, my parents did, and they raised a family on $10 a week. But they were satisfied with what their life gave them. They didn't search for more, and they taught me the same. Whenever players came through Chicago, they all talk about playing in the World Series. And I always thought to myself, I am here at Wrigley Field playing day games for the best fans in the world, and I was satisfied. Now this is part I like. Now I'm not bragging. I'm the only professional athlete who played his entire career in one city, Chicago, one mayor, Richard J. Daley, one owner, P.K. Wrigley, one park, Wrigley Field, and I played all my home games under one light, and that's God's lights. Where are they? I was satisfied. I think today of P.K. Wrigley, who brought me here to Chicago and taught me so much about life, and Jackie Robinson and Buck O'Neill and Hank Aaron and Billy Williams and all the people who taught me to listen and learn. And to have this statue brings me into the spotlight, but I always like shining, and Ronnie and all of them know this, shining the spotlight on someone who done something special. And I think of moms raising 5 kids on their own. To me, those people were my idols. I don't know how they did it, just like I can't imagine how my mom raised a family on $10 a week. It's a miracle that I made it from there to here. When I had my number retired by the Cubs, it struck me as the greatest honor because it was the first number ever retired in 100 years of this franchise. And I knew it would still be there flying on the flagpole 100 years from now. That's how I feel about this statue. I know it will be here 100 years from now. It's a miracle to me. But it is proof that you find satisfaction, contentment in your life. Miracles can happen. It's been some journey, and I thank the great Cub fans for taking the journey with me And I thank you for this satisfying moment here today. I really appreciate all of this. I love all the, hold on a minute, I love all the enthusiasm that you all have given me. And I see a lot of you I've been around and been with and talked to, and I've learned a lot from all of you. And there's one great thing about this city. Somebody's always got their hand out to help you, no matter where you go or what you do. And I see a lot of people here that helped me in my life when things was up and things were down. They're always there. And this is a remarkable place, and I just love it. I love this ballpark, and what I'm saying about this statue, long after I'm not here, I'll still be here. Thank you.
After today, there will be only 2 chapters to be written in Ron Santo's remarkable life story. One would be his induction into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. And the other chapter would be for his beloved Chicago Cubs to win the World Series. And now for the official uniform retirement ceremony, I would like to introduce the Cubs' great Vice President of Marketing and Broadcasting, John McDonough, who will speak on behalf of the Chicago Cubs organization.
Great job, Pat. Thank you. On behalf of the Chicago Cubs organization, we'd like to congratulate Ron on this very special day. Our beautiful Wrigley Field adds another member to its class of baseball royalty. Our honored guest has given his heart and soul to the Chicago Cubs for 28 years. As a third baseman, we admired his hitting prowess, Gold Glove, and unbridled intensity. As a color analyst on WGN Radio, we laud his passion, feel his joy and pain, and laugh at his daily banter with Pat Hughes. Periodically, he will mispronounce a name or phrase. I know that's hard to believe. For example, Pat said he wanted this to be reverent. I might take it another way for a minute or so. Ron refers to intellectuals as rock scientists. Carlos Baerga is Carlos Viagra. Dusty Baker is Dusty Baylor. Antonio Alfonseca is simply Al. He's not even close on Mark Gredzalonic. And let's not get into Brant Brown. And don't we all love it when he asks, Pat, how did that runner get on base? This is our color analyst. He'll talk about his hairpiece catching fire and gets crushed in the attendance game. All of these Santoisms only further endear him to his legions of fans. You know I had to do that. His humanitarian efforts are Herculean, as he has helped to raise tens of millions of dollars for juvenile diabetes research. Ron Santo is a hero, but more importantly, Cubs fans, he is our hero. If overcoming adversity is the true test of one's character, then Ron leads every league in that category. So we not only retire the jersey of a player and broadcaster, we honor a man who is woven into the fabric of this great franchise. Flanked by two of the greatest players this game has ever seen, number 14, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, and number 26, sweet swinging Billy Williams. They warmly receive you into their prestigious group. Our friendly confines will forever be a tribute to one of the finest men to ever wear any baseball uniform. Ron, as of today, every fan who enters Wrigley Field will recognize what you have meant to the Chicago Cubs. As for a gift today, we have chosen not to give you a car because we hear you already get them for free. However, we would like to present a framed vintage jersey to commemorate today's event. Ron, Cub fans everywhere applaud and salute you. Today, the ivy smiles, the grass is greener, and Wrigley Field has one more jewel in its crown. Thank you very much. You talk about divine intervention, Ronnie. Now we ask you to please direct your attention to the left field corner as two of Ron's former teammates, Randy Hundley and Glenn Beckert, raise Ron's flag for the first time as it takes its place under number 14, Ernie Banks.
This is too much, to be honest with you, and you know, this might be the first time I've ever been lost for words. But first of all, I want to congratulate the divisional champions, the Chicago Cubs, led by the best manager in baseball, Dusty Baker, and his wonderful coaches. And I want to personally thank you guys because you have completed my life as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much. I want to thank the wonderful Cub organization to my right over here. It's been like family, and I thank you all very much. John McDonough, the comedian, I want to thank him. But thanks very much, John. And of course, my partner, Pat Hughes. And I want everybody to know I look so forward to coming to the ballpark and being with Pat every day. It's so enjoyable. And you know how I talk about his clothing, but look at him. He looks great today. I cannot believe it. And two, right behind me, the two flags that are up there and now mine. First of all, I came to Chicago and picked the Cubs because of Ernie Banks, #1, and the Wrigley Field. And I've always admired, and that was the greatest joy of my life when I stepped on the field here in Wrigley Field with my teammate and dear friend, Ernie Banks. To my left, Billy Williams, that I met when I was 18 years old in San Antonio, Texas. We came up together to the big leagues. We have played more games as teammates, more than any other two teammates in the history of baseball, over 2,000 games. And I love both of these guys like they're my brothers. So this couldn't be any better. And I want to, with the adversity that I have been through, if it wasn't for all of you, and I mean this, how much I love all of you. You've been so wonderful to me, and you deserve a big hand, or I wouldn't be standing here right now. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And this is what it's all about, family. I got the most wonderful family, and you see that little kid right there, Sam Brown? He's a switch hitter. Look out. I don't know anything but to end this. When I was told that they were going to retire my number, and I mean this sincerely, I thought I had to get into the Hall of Fame to have that done, because this flag hanging there down the left field line means more to me than the Hall of Fame. That is my Hall of Fame. I thank all of you. I love you.
Follow me. Join me in welcoming up to the microphone Hall of Famer Ferguson Jenkins.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There's no greater honor that a player can have bestowed on him than have his number retired. During my 10 amazing years with the Chicago Cubs and playing for the Wrigley family, I enjoyed my time day in and day out. As a pitcher, I knew Wrigley Field was a hitter's ballpark, but winning games was part of what the game was all about, and I turned it into a pitcher's ballpark. These fellas behind me, Ernie, Billy, and Ronnie, playing good defense for me, scoring runs, is what the game is all about. Much of the credit goes to so many different people. I had a great catcher, Randy Hundley, Kenny Rudolph, a great double play combination in Glenn Beckert and Don Kessinger. My pitching mates, Kenny Holzman, Bill Hands, Rich Nye, and the late Joe Negro. These guys in the 60s were the guys that were winning ball games here in Wrigley Field. Having the number 31 fly with Ernie, Billy, Ronnie, and Greg, there's no better honor. I'm in good company. Greg? The city of Chicago, the Chicago fans will always have a place in my heart. By far, you are the best fans, the best knowledgeable fans. Believe me. Thank you very much.
Would you please welcome to the microphone Cubs great and future Hall of Famer, Greg Maddux.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What a privilege, what an honor to be standing up here with these guys. I mean, these guys are what the Cubs are all about. Kind of like Fergie said, to have success on the field, you have to have the team behind you. And I was fortunate enough to play with a lot of very good players. Jody Davis was here. I know he caught me when I first started playing. And Jody taught me the importance of you have to listen to the catcher most of the time. And I'm kidding. But I want to thank my family for coming. Definitely want to thank the Cubs, the whole organization, and absolutely the fans in the city. You guys accepted me from the day I got here. I appreciate that. Never forget you guys. And let's beat the Marlins today. Let's get them. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the left field and right field corners as we raise two number 31 flags simultaneously in honor of these two renowned pitchers. To raise Fergie's flag in left field, former teammates Randy Hundley and Glenn Beckert. And to raise Greg's flag in right field, former teammate and battery mate Jody Davis. These two flags represent the highest honor the Chicago Cubs can bestow, and the number 31 will forever fly proudly above America's most beautiful ballpark.